Hey everybody, welcome to Rock Talk Outcast. Thanks for joining us tonight. We are here in Pickerington, Ohio at the lovely Finnegan's Wake. Yes, an Irish joint. I'll tell you what. We are here to see the Sword of Silence, and they are an amazing rock and roll band. We are going to have the blast. Just like the other episode that you have just seen, this is going to be even better. Check them out. Are you kidding? My makeup's probably looking like Alice Cooper right now. I'm sweating the shit off.
3.
Hi everybody, this is Sarah Smile from Rock Talk Outcast, and I'm here with Rico Cello. What is it that you do outside of rock and roll? Because we know you're a lead singer. We know that your heart and your passion's there, but what is the other, side of you?
Well, I'm a family man. I've got a 20-year-old son. I've got a wife.
I would never guess that.
Kind of a homemaker. Always fixing things around the house. Kind of doing that kind of stuff. I live, eat, and breathe the music. I've been doing music for it's been 40 some years, maybe. Ever since I was a little guy back in New York City. Grew up Queens, New York. Been doing music. Used to play the guitar. Kind of got away from it. Trying to learn how to play again. But I've been singing all my life. Started in the choir, back at church, back at school. Did the local music. Used to play at the Arosa in a band called Slam Circus back in the day. Did that for a little while. Then got back into got hanging out with a bunch of friends in music again, started doing karaoke, started doing guest appearances with some other bands around town, and then I said, I want to do music. I want to do music again, and then I started this project. Today, we actually had a memory on social media. For 12 years, we've been doing Distorted Silence. Is when I started the band. So 12 years around this time is when we started Distorted Silence.
Rico, what's one thing that you would tell a budding child or someone that holds that passion, as a young man? What's the one thing that you would help to encourage them with, to give them that, push, if that makes sense?
Always reach out to your dreams. Never give up on your dreams. I don't care who tells you you're not good enough, who tells you can't do it. Maybe it's not that time for you, but always come back to whatever your dreams are, whatever you want to do in life. At least, give it 110%. And, long as you do that, long as you're good with yourself doing that, nobody will ever fault you for doing that. And like I said, I've been doing music for a long time, never made it mainstream, but I'm still doing it. And the Columbus music scene is probably one of the best music scenes around the country. We've heard that. We've got a lot of support. A lot of the bands support one another. I go out and support other bands when we're not playing. So, it's a camaraderie. Back in the day, it was a little bit more of a competition. I remember that through the Alrosa days. But now, everybody's gotten a little older, a little wiser, a little smarter, and there's room for everybody. There's room for everybody to excel, to play. There's so many great venues in Columbus and the suburbs and the surrounding areas that have given these local bands, a chance to play and to do what we love to do. And we couldn't do it without the venues and without you, the people that support the local music, that love the music. And people like Sarah that have podcasts and, love the music as well. Because I
We
know
got one
she's a
more question
vocalist
for you.
also.
Yes, thank you. We've got one more question for you because I know you got to get back on stage, and I'm eager to see you perform some more. What are your main influence? Like, who are your main influence?
Well, I grew up an 80s hair metal baby. I love Judas Priest. I grew up a big Janie Lane Ward fan.
Oh, yes.
And,
From Stowe, Ohio.
You know, Motley Crue, all that stuff. But I also like some of the other, you know, alternative rock groups like NXS, you know, Zeppelin.
Thank you for tuning in to Rock Talk Outcast. This is Sarah Smile. We are here with Dan Laverne.
She's really into playing guitar, and I mean, folks, he is amazing.
Oh, that chick is amazing, by the way. I'm telling you, yeah, absolutely.
That was fun. But yeah, we played the Alro Sevilla, the Newport, you know.
I do want to say that I appreciate your music. I appreciate your talent. I think that I've always been a big fan of yours for a very, very long time since I first met you. You're still amazing. And you're still amazing.
Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning in to Rock Talk Outcast. I have a very sexy British man named Son. But thank you very much for being on the podcast. And I'm so grateful to interview. But tell us how you got started in the music world and where you've gone from there, obviously.
I started playing when I was 16, which was a long time ago, 36 years ago.
I could not tell.
So I used to sit next to a guy at school, and he was a drummer, and he said, hey, we're putting a band together. Do you play anything? And I said, no. I said, what do you need? And he said, we need a bass player. I said, okay, that sounds cool. I'll get a bass guitar and I'll start playing. Literally had a couple of lessons, then hooked up with him and started playing in England, and we were reasonably successful. So I kept on doing that for a while.
Nice.
And then I kind of fell out of it, and then I moved to the US 12 years ago.
What brought you to the U.S.? Just the music, or?
No, it
I'd
was
rather go back and
boring work-related reasons.
Understood. Yeah.
But I needed to get another band, so of all places, I hooked up with these guys on Craigslist. I mean, you wouldn't believe it.
Are you serious? Craigslist. No, he's not the Craigslist killer, okay? So let's not think this, all right? Anyway, just kidding.
But I kind of advertised my services on Craigslist, and Rico reached out, so and the rest is history. I've been doing this for 12 years now.
I am very, very honored to meet you. Very honored to interview you. And I'm excited to see where this is going to go. But tell us, who are your influences? Like, you know, everybody has that one person that really resonated in the heart, you know, and you just kind of have to follow in their footsteps, but don't try to make it your own. You know.
You're going to laugh when I tell you who my inspiration as a bass player was John Taylor.
Oh, yes.
From Duran Duran.
Yes.
So,
that turns me on. I'm sorry. It really turns me on to hear that because I love Duran.
You know, as a teenager, they were my band and I listened to them all the time. And that was actually why I kind of hooked up with that guy back in high school. And then when he said I need a bass player, because I was into Duran Duran then anyway. And I had posters of John Taylor on my wall. And I just wanted to learn to play bass guitar.
I love that. I love that.
And even now, I mean, we play a couple of Duran Duran songs, so I'm still going back to that.
I missed it. Only because I was trying to put on my damn face. It took too fucking long.
Well,
damn it.
It was worth it.
Thank you. So, tell us, do you write any original music? Do you add to any original music?
You know what? We have one original song which we haven't played for a long time. It's called Karma.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, we don't know about that.
Actually, Rico wrote the lyrics to that. It's all about kind of, you know, shitty relationships with the past, and then karma kind of level things out at the end of the day, you know. So.
That's funny you said shitty relationships because we've all been involved with one.
Right.
And it's like whenever we pick ourselves back up and we find someone that we're really happy about, you got a 1 in 10 chance of actually, you know, going in the right direction or it turns to shit.
Yep.
And isn't that true? So yeah, that's an awesome period.
And it's a cool song as well. It's on our website if people want to check it out.
Yes, please tell them. Please tell them.
It's, we got a website, it's distortedsilencerocks.com.
Jason, thank you very much for allowing us to interview. So tell us, what are your influences? Or, you know, when did you start out? You know, at what age? And, you know, where in the hell did you get this get up on this stand right here? Because I love that carpet. And I think it's a beautiful set.
Well, that's part of my Kiss influence. So,
Oh, yeah.
8 years old, I got the first drum set.
Oh, wow.
So I've been playing since I was 8. So, yeah, 42 years.
Damn.
42 years.
Wait, no, he said 24. You didn't say that, right? He's not that old, guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was 8. that's my influence.
So my question for you is that out of all the bands that I've seen so far, you are such a heavy hitter. So what is that? Is that just a style that comes, from the style of music that you've learned, or is that something that is just because he's like a very strong man, that type of thing? I'm sure they're probably asking that same question.
A couple reasons. My two favorite drummers, number one, is Eric Carr from Kiss, and then John Bonham from Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
So both those guys beat the hell out of the drum set.
The great and the late Kenny Knausen, because we do miss him. Love you, Kenny. I got the chance to see him at Chillin' Sun in Newark. Yeah, I know it's funny, isn't it?
Right.
I tell you, he was just a star in himself. Jason, how did you meet him? Like, how did you encounter him? And how did you get started playing in that band with him?
Funny story. So I was off the scene for about 10 years or so, just raising family, raising my children, and I would do fill-in gigs occasionally. But one night I heard Kenny was in town. I was like, this guy from Steelheart's in town. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I love Steelheart.
Yeah.
So I went to Captain Jack's at the time.
Wow, they haven't been around a long time.
Right, to see Chillin' Sun. And all these people I hadn't seen flipping off the scene were there, and they're like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, what do you think these guys? I was like, these guys are killer. I said, we're missing one thing. I go, me.
It's Mr. Levitt over here.
I said it jokingly, but I truly meant it. I was like, I gotta find a way to get in this band. I'm coming out of retirement for this, right?
Right, exactly.
So very next day, I sent Kenny a message via YouTube.
Oh wow.
Sent him links to my videos and stuff, and I didn't hear from him. Didn't hear from him.
Wow.
6 months later, I get a message. Hey, you want to come try out?
Oh my God, I bet you were jumping up and down.
And I was freaking out.
Holy shit.
Because number one, We All Die Young is one of my favorite songs ever.
Yes.
And number two, he was in Steelheart, one of my favorite bands from the late 80s, early 90s. And so went over to his house, which was 15 minutes from mine, which is strange.
Oh, that is real strange.
And he had a full studio in his basement and everything. I went over, we played through a bunch of stuff, like most of their set, and I was like, hey man, let's do one of yours, because I had his stuff.
Ooh.
And he looked at me, he's like,
really now?
He's
I've
like,
never
all
had
right,
anybody ask
let's
me
do that.
Yeah.
And had a good time, and left, and exchanged our goodbyes and whatnot, and next day he goes, hey, you're in.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So
We All Die Young. I'll never forget when he started playing that. It touched my soul. Like it reached in there, and it was like, man, I just could not just. I mean, it brought me to tears. That's how amazing. And folks, let me tell you, Mr. Levitt, Jason, his drumming does the same thing. I really, really admire him. I think he's amazing. I think that, he deserves all the accolades that he has gotten in his lifetime. And, I just appreciate you, and I appreciate the love that you put into what you do. One more question, because I just came to mind. What is your all-time, now you said Kiss, right?
Yeah.
But what would be
Zeppelin.
your all-time favorite band moving on up from like 80s on up? Because we know Kiss has been around for many moons.
Man, that's tough. Some of the newer bands, Wine Read Oaks, which I opened up for.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's so many new bands. Kill Devil Hill.
Oh yeah, now
Um,
these guys gotta check out these bands, man. They're up and coming.
Yeah.
Do you ever heard of a band called Kickin' Valentina?
I seen them.
Yeah,
I
these
saw 'em
guys
in
are
Michigan.
coming. These guys are coming to Camp Clubs in July. Gotta check that out, man.
I saw them open
Rock
up
Talk
for
will be there.
Slaughter and Detroit
Yeah.
last year. Oh my gosh, a year and a half ago, I suppose.
So can I expect you to be out there in the crowd?
I don't know. I have to see what the schedule says.
Right.
I'm busy.
He's like, wait a second, I'm busy. I'm like over here playing music.
Yeah. I'm already going to miss Firehouse at the Sweet Corn Festival because I got a gig that night.
Oh, crap, man.
Right?
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe you ought to do like a little tribute and play one of their tunes. Now, that would be beast, I
Yeah.
think. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. Well, listen, Jason, I thank you so much. I really love you to death. You know that. Your family, you know that. And stay tuned, guys. Check out Distorted Silence. I said it right. Now,
Thank
do
you.
one more thing with me. This is kind of how I do it. And I usually do it with like the third interview with someone. We just be like, rock and roll. Yeah, bitches. Awesome. Thank you. Love you. All right.
Good to see you. Man, I was
Check them out. You know what they say. Keep it cool, too. Don't let your meatloaf.